Hey guys, welcome to AIP Duelists. Once again, this is Zachary Frankfurt. Said in my last video, even though it was the first one, that we'd be having more deck profiles coming along. I might actually have two today, if I can get my hands on the other deck from one of my friends. He is sadly not able to attend. But I will be showing you my first getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh deck, which is a really fixed up version of Macro Monarchs. There have been a lot of changes with it, so bear with me. It's a lot different from what I started out with, because at first I didn't have a lot of money to sling around with Yu-Gi-Oh, but now that I have, you know, a pretty decent binder, which I'll be putting up a video of too probably, and no one will want anything. We'll see. Okay, let's go into the deck. Starting out, 3 Caius. Like I said, it's Macro Monarchs, but sadly this is the only Monarch I really play. Caius is good. In the deck, you have darks that you can sacrifice on your, you sacrifice your own darks, and they come back at the end of phase. It is a macro deck, as well as the 3 Monarchs that make it a Monarch deck. Plus, it's really easy to trib and then just bring the monster back in the end phase. Caius is my favorite. I like him. I know Ryza and Mobius are cool, but he's the only one I run. Okay. One of the main beaters of the deck, triple DD Survivor. When Survivor is removed from play, when face up on your side of the field, you special summon it at the end phase. So it's pretty nice to have, especially if you play it and they bottomless it, because it just comes back anyway, if you don't have any of the macro enable cards out. It really harms your opponent's meta too, if you can keep monsters out while you're destroying theirs. And even if they do get it off the field, you end up getting it back. So, yeah, it really can mess up your opponent. Even in tribs. One of the other beat sticks, DD Warrior Lady. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say combat effects are slow. I like combat effects. I like setting her. The defense is higher than attack, so there's something to be said there. And for this format, 16 defense is good. It can break, if not match, some attack. Especially against like an X-Saber deck. This really knocks out Full Helm, because they like to take the chance with his effect. Plus, you can choose to remove or not. So even if they attack with a big beater, especially a sync, if they synchro that turn and attack a DD Warrior Lady, you're lucky. Really neat play in this deck. Triple Cyber Valley. A lot of people are going to say, well, of course you play Cyber Valley, you idiot, and I know this video is out of focus, but Cyber Valley's cool. You know, he ends the battle phase when your opponent attacks him, and you get to draw a card with that. Plus, since it's a macro deck with DD Survivor, and later you'll see DD Scout playing, you can really harness his second effect a lot and get the monster that you use as tribute fodder back. It's pretty cool, honestly. Okay. I'm running with 2 DD Scout playing. People tell me not even to run with it or run with 3. I like Scout playing. I like to set him. And I also like the deck plays Allure, so if you trib him for Allure's effect, you know, trib him for the cost of Allure, I'm sorry, you get him back, and then if you have the bottomless in the back row, you can actually bait your opponent into playing something big just to get the amount of damage. It's pretty cool. Okay. 2 Krebins. People will say, again, you know, why are you tuning in the deck? It's what you need to do. This format, tuning is a big thing. I mean, synchroing is a big thing. So, you know, he negates attacks. You got to pay the 800 life points. He's cool. I like 2 and 3 star tuners, because with a lot of the cards in the deck, you can get a lot of 6 and 7 stars right away. And sometimes even stack the levels. Pull out an 8 real quick. Him plus Scout Plane plus Survivor equals an 8-star. End phase, you get the Scout Plane and the Survivor back. Pretty cool. As long as your Survivor's face up, mind you. But you can't exactly tribute face down monsters. Now, can you? Oh, there's a Rose Warrior to revenge you. Alright, yeah. Like I said, easy to make 8-star monsters out of this deck first when you synchro. Plus, Rose is pretty cool. She's a target for Rhoda, as well as DD Warrior Lady and Survivor. And her effect is pretty cool, too. And again, like I said, 4-star tuner. Pretty bomb. And it's ultra. Ultimate. It's shiny. That's a Gale. Of course it's a Gale. It's not a Blackwing deck, but hey, Gale's good in any deck. I mean, his effect with the whole halving thing, he can take on monsters with 24,000 attack. 2400 attack, I'm sorry. And he's a 3-star tuner. So, yeah, like I said, I like tuning in this deck a lot. I run one-sided commander. I kind of like him, and like I said, 3-star tuner. I like 2 and 3-star tuners. Usually I don't always use his effect. Honestly, I barely ever use his effect. I kind of just play him and sink right then and there. But if I have to use his effect, it works out for me well in the end. That's it for the monster lineup. We're gonna go into spells. Here's your main spell. 3-dimensional fissure. Dimensional Fissure sends only monsters to the graveyard. Monsters to the remove pile instead of the graveyard. A lot of people say macro is a lot better just because people like to pull their old spells back. The thing is, if you run both in conjunction, it gets over the whole the whole MST situation, and a lot of the cards nowadays that pop back row, especially when Hunlai comes into play, she can pop 3. You have backup in your deck. I run 3-dimensional fissure and 2 macro. I don't run 3 macro because macro can be a dead draw. At least with D-fissure, you can play it right away. Okay. 2 MSTs, staple. I play an econ. I just play 1. I like to play with 1 because 2 always ends up sticking my deck up a lot. The first effect's pretty cool. Helps survive out sometimes. But, everyone plays it for the second effect when they try to vac or they try to destroy a monster. You use the second effect, tribute the monster to destroy and take control of theirs, end the phase. Because they only have 1 out. Rhoda, I went over my Rapid Rhoda before. Target Rose, target Warrior Lady, target Survivor. It's decent. Allure. Really, Allure's very good, especially if you have Scout Plane in your hand and a Bottomless in the back row. You get those 2 extra cards, discard the Scout Plane. Comes back at the end phase. They play a big beater to get over your Scout Plane. BTH. Clean shit up. Very good in this deck. Dark Hole. Most of the time when you're playing Dark Hole, you're nuking your monsters and getting them back at the end phase. Pretty boss, not gonna lie. Cleans up pretty well too. E-Teleport. I'm running Psychics. Why not? Plus it's ultimate. It's pretty. Okay. So, spell lineup's finished. We're going to go on the traps now. Okay, 3 Dark Bribe. I know people are going to hate me for that. Last thing you want is your opponent drawing cards this format. But it protects my my D-Fissures and my Macrocosmos if it's out. Plus, it stops a lot of the effects, and if you're trying to negate... I'll tell you right now, my favorite one is when you Dark Hole and they try to do that. They try to negate it and you flip a bribe, or they my body and you bribe. My favorite thing ever is bribing bribes. Pretty boss. Bribe to the bribe to the bribe bribe bribe. 2 Macrocosmos, like I said before. Just because I don't play Helios doesn't mean Macrocosmos is good. It's debatable that you get a free shuffle off this. I don't do the free shuffle. Plus, it removes both monsters and spell and trap cards. Bottom's Trap Hole, Monster Hate. Return. This card helps you out in a pinch, especially if you've had your back row card, your main continuous cards out, macro or a D-Fish. The second you flip this, you're gonna want to either sack or tune your ass off. Sack or sink your axe off. I'm sorry, I always call it tuning. But, yeah, it helps you out. It's pretty much like a Solemn minus the negation. Pay half your life points. You see there's a Solemn right there. I should put a picture of the most interesting man in the world over his face. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Mirror Force hurts your opponent a lot. If they in my body, you just bribe it. Mirror Force is hurt, especially this format. Especially every format. And a Torrential. Torrential's awesome in this deck, because just like Dark Hole, when they play destroy both sides of the field, you end up getting your monsters back at the end of the phase. That's pretty much it. Let me get out the extra deck for this. The extra deck right now is actually split between this and my Saber deck from the earlier video. It'll take like 2 minutes to get the different cards out. I've already done it once for someone today. Just showing them the macro. 10, 12, 13, 14. Where's that other one? Where the hell did you go? You. I choose you, not Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yeah, I said it. What you going to? Okay. So, this is what you're looking at. Gaia, Urzaquoss, Doorbellum can help out a lot. Dark End, Stardust. Don't yell at me about this or Colossal. If you can't get macro or Deep Fish Route in time, these can, you know, wreck some face. Android, Red Dragon, Goyo, he's freaking broken. Black Rose, he helps out with the whole can't get Deep Fish Route and stuff too. Brionic, Thought Ruler, Naturia Beast, hate this glare, and Wayne. Wayne's effect helps out too, just because you can special summon Warriors when you play him. So, you've got Rose, you've got Survivor, you've got DD, Warrior Lady. I mean, it's all pretty cool. Okay, I'm just making sure that was 15 so I don't mislead you guys. Alright, comment, rate, fix if you want. I'm probably not going to change it, although the sheer fact that this deck has held for a couple of years, mind you. It's been wrecking face. Messes up a lot of Herald deck too. Yeah, especially if you're playing Herald, play this deck, for the love of Christ. Herald players are just like, oh, so you're playing Macro Monarchs, I should just scoop right now. Especially if I can't get Herald Christia on my first turn. Herald Christia Freya. Alright, thanks a lot, guys.